So, of all smartphone companies, the most difficult to ever compete with is always Apple. And why is that? Because Apple have this their own ecosystem. One, two. Apple is using iOS, not Android. So competing with them is often like not like a easy thing for people to do, because competing with them is a different job on its own. More like as if you have to compete, have your own operating system like Google or like Wow, stuff like that. But there's a new company. I've mentioned it since the beginning of the year. There's a new company now that is not competing with Apple, and the company has everything it takes to be able to beat Apple and bring Apple down within a few hours, within a few time. And that company is Infinix. You see, Infinix over the years has just been like a normal mid-range company, and now it's not going up to become one of the biggest smartphone companies in the world. They may not be the biggest as exactly, but they're actually really good. Their smartphones are good. Everything about them is really, really great, and everything is going to be really, really productive. But I've outlined some things out now, and there are a lot of sections that we just have to go through to make sure that we'll be able to see who is the winner and who should actually go for. Who is going to be the new competitor for if I am Apple. So today we are going to be competing with Apple and Infinix. So just be watching this course to know how improved they are. So first of all, we are going to start with the unboxing. You see, the unboxing of Apple is a normal thing. Infinix is also going to take the point here. The unboxing of Apple is just this normal empty box. Let me put it that way. This normal empty box I often all get, and you just get your charger, your smartphone, some manuals, and that's all. But for Infinix, you still get your full package. Yeah, even despite the fact that they've reduced the size of the box, you still get your full package in everything you want. For example, you still get your phone, which is a normal necessity. You get your charger brick, you get your cable, your USB-C cable. You will get a case inside, and sometimes you can still get your earpod or, best of all, a earpiece. But I think they are removing the earpiece for earpod right now, but which is also going to be good. So for this point, Infinix actually has the points. Going to the design here, I would say is probably a draw. The reason I give it a draw is because looking at Apple design is this solid boxy design, and something that everybody's not accustomed to. But Infinix on the other hand is this curve, round, pebble-like design, which is really easy to hold, swipe from the side, and much more comfortable to use at any time that you want to use it. So Infinix and Apple are going to have a draw at this point because of how both of them are different, and because they have different audiences when it comes to design of how people want to use it. Then there's this cool factor. You see, a cool factor is like this hype that people often give a product. Take for example now Apple. If you have 100 people and give a survey about Apple versus Android, you will see that more people will pick Apple than Android. Though there may be more people using Android than Apple, but you see more people pick Apple than Android. So there's that cool factor that Apple has placed themselves in, make them different from every other brand. So it's one thing that Infinix cannot compete with here, and it will take a long time for them to compete with it. So that's going to be a good point for Apple, right? Yeah. And another thing again that Apple is now doing to make sure that it eliminates, that Infinix is doing to make sure it eliminates every other smartphone company, especially Apple, is when it comes to voice assistant. You see, Apple has a voice assistant called Siri, Amazon has Alexa, Samsung has Bixby, Google has the Google Assistant. But Infinix are currently working on their own voice assistant. Though it has not yet been finalized, but just based on the background stage you've seen when it came out in the Infinix 013, there's one thing that we often notice about it is that it was designed with the consumer in mind. Yeah, the UI UX was incredible, and I've never seen something like that before. It was crazy, and it was far better when tested by themselves, but it was far better than our so-called Siri. So you should know what app Infinix is planning ahead of them. If they can do something that good, once they can just finalize it, you get something similar to that of Google Assistant, and something that can be able to give you this personalized and really, really good for you and to use. So that point goes to Infinix. Then we come to processors and chip. You see, processors and chip is one of the things that make Apple really, really different, because Apple is a really fast smartphone. Really fast. The processor just made it top notch. Take for example, when the iPhone 15 came out, the CPU power was close to that of the CPU power in the MacBook. So if you know how powerful it is when I'm comparing two things like that together, right? So, and it's so powerful, so you can play quality video games, PC games on it. So that's how powerful we do it. That causing overheating, but still, it's something that powerful to it to want quality PC games on it without reducing or scaling down the quality of the video. So if Apple are going to actually take the point here, because they have actually worked and refined their chips and their processors to make sure that it is good enough and it is fast enough to be used for their customers. Then when it comes to camera, Apple cameras are good. I'm not going to lie to you, they are good. Their 48 megapixel back camera is good, and their 12 megapixel front camera is good. But Infinix is better. Infinix back camera, the rear camera is about 120 megapixel, and the front camera is a 50 megapixel camera, which is good and is the best for taking quality images. It's going to make things really different for what you think. Yeah, and it's really good to take quality pictures. We're giving you the exact zoom you need without downscaling the picture or the image itself, making it as sharp as possible and just as sharp as that of Apple. So everything will be a draw here, but take note, Apple's camera uses AI. And how does it use AI? It uses AI in this form whereby you can actually select a picture. The portrait mode of the phone can actually be switched. Take for example, you can take my picture right now, then you can switch focus to the socket behind me, and then my face will get blurred partially, and the focus will be on the socket behind me. So that's how good it is, right? So, but still, we'll give both a draw because Infinix camera quality is actually still good even without the AI attached to it. Then we have the software. You see, software is also another important thing tech enthusiasts look at when they are about to purchase a phone. Though not everybody look at stuff like that, but me, I often take a look at things like that because it is actually, I would say, one of the things I need the most when I want to purchase a phone. And everybody just wants to bet. But when it comes to software, UI, the UX, the interface, the speed, both are actually really good. Having test both, you find out that both are actually good and of top quality. The reason I say so of top, the reason I said of top quality because the UI UX of both apps of both smartphones are actually good. And this is why I will not actually give the points to a certain one because first of all, we have iOS and we have Android. So they are actually two different things that we're comparing as one. So giving them an equal score will be, I'll say, kind of unfair. And yes, it will be truly unfair if you give both of them a same score or a different score. Yeah. So both of them are actually going to because they are both different operating systems, which are both good, and everybody just trying to work and get the best for their customers. Then when it comes to battery, we're not going to lie here, we already know the winner. The winner is Infinix. Infinix are now making smartphones with 6,000 milliamp battery, while Apple is still not up to 5,000 milliamp battery. Even this battery can last for well charged 2 days. Apple half a day. That's if you get a iPhone that can last half a day, maybe like the iPhone 15. That's if you get an iPhone that can last half a day. That's it. When it also comes to charging, Infinix, I would say, they are the second fastest smartphone in charging in the world. Charging from 0 to 100% in just 12 minutes. You should see how fast that is. That after Xiaomi, which can charge from 0 to 100 in 9 minutes, Infinix is next, 0 from 100 in just 12 minutes. So that's how good it is. But compared to Apple is charging 0 to 100 in about 2 hours. Yeah, about 2 hours. The iPhone 14 is charging about 2 hours. The iPhone 15 to same thing, about 2 hours, about 1 hour 30 minutes. That's their maximum time for charging from 0 to 100%. So you can find that Infinix is a step ahead of them in this one. So both points, both the battery and the charging, goes to Infinix. And let us be clear with ourselves. If we are looking at the scores right now, you find that Infinix is winning, right? But let's also talk about the display. So the display of smartphones are actually really good nowadays. I found that the display of smartphones are increasing at an higher rate, right? And there's something very special about Apple's display. You see, Apple's display can go up a peak brightness of 2000 nits. Infinix brightness is just about 1600 nits, so it's not yet up to that of Apple. So you can find that in this place, though I will give both of them a draw because Infinix still gives you that exact brightness you need when you're in a bright place. So you can see from whatever angle you are. And if you put it in the adaptive brightness state, even when you're in a dark place, you can scale up and scale down yourself to adjust to the environment of the amount of brightness that you as the user actually need at that very moment. So it's going to be really good if you use it very well. So I'll give the both of them a draw. But note, Apple is far bright. I mean, I say far bright. I mean, really bright, because it goes up to 2000 nits. Really bright. It's that bright. Then when it comes to security of your smartphone, I'm not going to lie to you. I won't talk much about it. I'm going to give it straight up to Apple. Apple is so far one of the most secured system to use, and it is very good. One of the most secure smartphones. That's one of the most secure software to use, and I just like it for that, because there's nothing I can say about it. They are just really good, and they are the best. Then when it comes to compatibility, I will give Android, which is Infinix, these points. The reason why I will give Infinix these points is because and Apple has their own ecosystem, right? And within their own ecosystem, they can only connect to things within their own ecosystem. Connecting to things outside their own ecosystem is really difficult. But if you look at Infinix, is compatible with nearly all products, and that's just the way Google has designed, or Android has designed their products to be able to compatible with every other thing around them. And the reason I say they have done it with compatibility, because Android is a very vast thing. Nearly all smartphones use Android, even Apple and Huawei, who use their own different stuff. So when you are mixing them together and you find out that you can connect your MacBook to your Infinix smartphone, right? But it will go to be difficult for you to connect your Android to your Infinix smartphone, your Apple to your Infinix smartphone, right? So one thing I just noticed here when it comes to compatibility, Android smartphones are actually more compatible than Apple. Unlike Apple that are just compatible within their own ecosystem, Android can just be compatible with anything outside their own ecosystem, including phones, televisions, to any other home appliances. Then we now come to price. You see, the flagship iPhone 15 Pro Max actually costs $1199, which is about $1,200, right? Yeah. But Infinix flagship phone does not sell, or it's not that expensive. It costs just around 1,000. Not too much. I'm just joking. It just costs about $600. So which is compared to that of Apple. Even that of flagship, and still be able to give you all these things you need at the best prices. It's going to be really insane. Which is going to be one of the best things I can just recommend for anybody that want to go for Infinix. So what do you think? Who do you think is the winner right now? The scores don't lie. You can see it there. Infinix is actually Apple's biggest competitor now, and it's going to be serious from now on. So I don't know what you guys think. Will you actually switch to Infinix? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm David. This is Part Intelligent. Jesus is coming soon. We want to hit 65 million subscribers by the end of this year. Make sure you pause to do it, and I'll catch you in the very next one. Bye.